It's Christmas time in no, it's not Christmas time. It's not even Thanksgiving yet. But we do have a new Christmas slasher film called It's a Wonderful Knife. Is it wonderful enough for me? Well, let's talk about it. Rise. Hey, what's going on, guys? We're going to be talking about the new Christmas slasher horror film coming out November the 10th. It's A Wonderful Knife, directed by Tyler McIntyre, written by Michael Kennedy, and starring Jane Widdop, Joel McHale, Catherine Isabel, and the great Justin Long. This movie is obviously a take on the Christmas classic It's a Wonderful Life. And for any of you guys that have not seen that movie, you need to watch old movies like that. Come on, guys, get on it.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, bitch.
And also, if you haven't yet, please hit the like button. It helps to support the channel, and I'd appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed to the Nightwatch Zone, this is the time to do it. So please do it and join our fantastic movie community. I think what Michael Kennedy was able to do with this film in trying to kind of switch it up and have a new spin on it as far as it being a horror movie, I think was a really, really interesting idea. Now, here's my non-spoiler, as much as possible, review on this film. So you have this character named Winnie, who's played by Jane Widdop, who is the lead in this film. And she experiences a tragedy in her hometown of Angel Falls, which is supposed to be like the Christmas capital of the world, where everybody celebrates Christmas. I mean, they're all singing and dancing and in the spirit and so forth. Now, you also have Justin Long, who plays the mayor, Mayor Waters, who was hilariously assholish in this film. I'm talking about a super jerk, and Justin Long was just having so much fun in this role. And he has plans for Angel Falls, obviously, to benefit him with money, with the cheddar. Justin Long, let me just say real quick, I've become such a huge fan of his over the last several years, seeing him in so many great movies and having really good performances as well, standout performances. I mean, showing his range, showing his charisma, and whether you're talking about Tusk or even things like Barbarian, Drag Me to Hell. I mean, Justin Long, in my opinion, is like he's like the horror king. You know, when you talk about actors that have consistently been in some really good horror films, modern wise, I'm talking about within the last 15-20 years, Justin Long has to be on that list. And for me, he's right at the top of that list. I really enjoy him in films, and this was no different. So I'm gonna try to stay as clear from spoilers as possible, and I would recommend you guys to be careful if you don't want any spoilers to this film. Okay, so you have a spin on the Christmas classic It's a Wonderful Life. The character Winnie Carruthers saves her town, the idyllic Angel Falls, from a psychotic killer on Christmas Eve 1 year previously. But after wishing she had never been born, she finds herself in an alternate universe in which she doesn't exist, allowing the killer to roam free. So let me just say this, guys. When you have a film, a horror film, that has a twist on something that is so beloved like It's a Wonderful Life, it's you're kind of walking into some tough territory because you have to pull off a lot of different things. I think what Michael Kennedy and director Tyler McIntyre were able to do with this film and the story was really admirable. Let's talk about the good. The characters in the film were really fun to follow. I enjoyed them. The standouts, obviously, is going to be Justin Long as Mr. Waters and Winnie, played by Jane Widdop. I think that Jane Widdop was so good in this role. I really followed her from A to Z. I really enjoyed her character. She was very funny. She was smart. She had a lot of compassion. Like, she was a nice person, but she was put into this situation where she felt like her life wasn't what it should be, and she felt like people's lives would be better off without her. And so that's why she was positioned to make the wish that she had never existed. And I think that from that point on, you really get even more invested in her character and what she has to do, because now she's in this alternate universe where she never existed. Her family, has their own lives and so forth. And so now she has to figure out how to deal with this angel killer or angel slasher, whatever we want to call the angel killer. I'll just call him the angel killer. But no, but Jane Widdop was really, really good in this film, and I'd love to see her in some other horror movies as well. Now, the angel killer itself, I think the design of the angel killer was interesting. It's basically an angel. It's all white. I did really dig the mask. The mask was really, really cool because it's just white. I was getting these weird vibes of, like, I don't know, Cobra Commander from G.I. Joe and stuff, like, in a good way, because I love G.I. Joe. You guys know that. But it was a really, really interesting look to the killer, all white. And it made me also think, and this is going to be my little rant, also made me think of Scream, because we've talked about having Ghostface, in this type of setting with the snow all around, or maybe even having a white robe at some point to camouflage and all that. So we got a chance to see it here. And the Scream comparisons don't stop there, because Winnie truly as soon as I saw Winnie, the character Winnie played by Jane, I'm sitting there thinking about Casey Becker in Scream, like totally looking like Drew Barrymore. And that had to have been on purpose. It had to have been. There were a lot of like little Scream callbacks that I thought were really, really cool in the film. You have Catherine Isabel in the film as well. I didn't even talk much about her playing the aunt, and I thought she was cool. And Catherine Isabel's name in the movie is Gail Prescott. You get it? Gail Prescott. Okay, so like, I'm serious, man. You got all these connections to Scream, so Scream fans should be pretty excited. Another thing that was good, we had some really good kills in this film, man. Like, there was some moments where people were getting, like, really aced out. You got a lot of blood. It was some surprising kills, the way they were pulled off, so I was pretty happy about that. Let's talk about the bad. Now, there's not a lot of bad in here, but let me get back to the kills for a second. I think the only thing about the kills that I just wish that it seemed like some of the kills were really, really polished. And I'm going to try to explain this, but like, the kills happened, there was blood and stuff like that, and they looked good, but it almost looked like it might have been a little too polished for me. Like, I wanted it to get a little bit more gritty and grimy. I'm not talking about it being over the top gore, but just the way that some of the kills were executed. So I wish I could have gotten a little bit more grittiness to it. Another thing that was a little bit of a disappointment, but not big, was Justin Long's character of Waters. I wish we could have gotten a little bit more of him. He was every scene he was in, it was money. I mean, seriously, Justin Long is that guy. Okay, I really enjoyed his character, but I wish I could have seen a little bit more of him throughout the film. I mean, his presence is there, and he does have a lot of great scenes, but I wish I could have seen a little bit more of him. But I understand it, because we've got a lot of characters. So Winnie is in the center of this story, trying to figure out how to stop this angel killer, and she has to use her smarts, use her wits, maybe even a friend or two. Of course, now that she's in this alternate reality, nobody knows her. Okay, so that's the interesting thing. Now, guys, I want to say I'm kind of skirting around a lot of stuff in this film, and there's a good reason for that. And so I'm going to get into that right now. This is not a spoiler, but the film has multiple twists and turns. It has stuff that happens right in the beginning of the film that is a ripple effect throughout the rest of the film. So I don't want to give that away. One thing that I did that I wish I didn't do is I saw the trailer before I got a chance to do this early screening of It's a Wonderful Knife. And I wish I didn't do that because there were a couple of things that I think that they shouldn't have had in the trailer. What is up with these horror trailers that are coming out with specific things that you should not know until you see the film? Now, of course, this is not a reflection of the movie, because I really, really enjoyed this film, and I'll get to that in a second too. But seriously, they've got to stop showing specific kills, specific reveals, and so forth in these trailers. I think it is a big disservice to these films. So if you want to go into this thing blind, be careful on the internet. Be careful with the trailer. I wouldn't even watch the trailer if I were you. The only reason I watch trailers, I mean, I love trailers, don't get me wrong. But the reason why I watch even more trailers nowadays is because of doing YouTube, okay? I would stay away from the trailer. Be careful with the reviews too, man. Like, try to make sure that they're non-spoiler unless you don't care about spoilers. And I know that there's some people that don't, so that's perfectly fine. Now, how do I feel about this film? I think it's a great film, guys. It's a really, really cool Christmas horror film, a Christmas slasher film, I should say. We definitely need more of those. I think it's a very special subgenre that a lot of people enjoy, and I think it will get even more popular with movies like this. It's really, really good because you're balancing emotion and the compassion of the Christmas season with these horrific events that happen to these characters in the movie. And again, I'm staying away from the events that happened in the film because I think it's very spoilery. All that you need to know is you have this town that goes through tragedy, and you have this central character of Winnie Carruthers, who, by the way, is I want to say it again, a very, very cool character. But she decides, because of the tragedies that she faced, that she wanted to see what life would be like if she had never existed, and she gets her opportunity to do that. And of course, just like with the Christmas classic It's a Wonderful Life, she realizes that life is a gift, and even though you think things are really, really, really hard or unbearable and what have you, be thankful for the life that you have and the people that you have in your life. So there is a little bit of a message in this film. It doesn't hit you over the head. It's very, very subtle, and I think it worked very well. I think the director did a great job, crafting the film, the way that it's shot. The cinematography was good. The cast was great. Joel McHale also was a standout. I really enjoyed him. Love seeing him and stuff too. So you had a really, really good cast. And I think this is a good film, guys. So I definitely recommend it. I think you guys should check it out. It opens on November the 10th. And I'm really, really excited to see how the community and how people will receive this film. But it's a very good Christmas slasher. I really dig it. So you should check it out too. Anyways, guys, that's my thoughts on It's a Wonderful Knife. Check it out. Make sure that you support it. I love movies like this. And I'll be talking to you guys later. Take it easy. Make sure you watch more films. Don't forget that the like button. It helps to support the channel. I'd appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the Nightwatch Zone, and I'll talk to you later. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace and rise.